Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining us today because, well, we're looking at something truly fascinating. We usually look at history as this long, continuous river of time, right? But what if we sliced right through it? What if a single calendar date could act as a cross-section of our entire evolution in power, knowledge, and technology? Today, we're focusing all our attention on one very specific day, July 15. We're going to explore how this exact date, time and time again, has served as a profound turning point that completely reshaped world history. Okay, let's dive into this. Could one single day literally hold the secrets to human history? Obviously, we know these events didn't all happen on the same day by some magical cosmic design. But by isolating July 15, we aren't just looking at random dates on a page, we're actually tracing the thematic evolution of humanity itself. We're using this date as a lens to see exactly how we've grown, how we've fought, how we've discovered, and how we've connected over the centuries. I mean, just think about the sheer wild span of time we're talking about here. We're jumping from medieval sieges way back in 1099 all the way across the centuries to the launch of modern social media in 2006. It is a massive leap. We're going to travel through politics, religion, science, and global culture, and it's all anchored to this one day in July. Chapter 1. Shifts in global power. Now, what's really interesting about this is how cleanly it maps out humanity's shifting geopolitical power over 9 entire centuries. A fascinating pattern starts to emerge. We go from religious and territorial wars in 1099 with the First Crusade, to European power struggles in 1410, to global industrialized conflict in 1918, and finally to Cold War diplomatic maneuvering in 1971. These are 4 vastly different events, but they share a massive common thread. They completely redrew the map of global influence. Let's actually look a bit closer at the brutal but historically massive consequences of these earlier dates. In 1099, Crusader armies captured Jerusalem after a long siege. This ended the First Crusade and set up the Crusader kingdom, but it came at a terrible cost. Thousands of Muslim and Jewish inhabitants were massacred, which deeply entrenched Christian-Muslim hostilities that would go on to shape the Middle East for centuries. Then, jump to 1410, the Battle of Grunwald. Poland and Lithuania decisively defeat the Teutonic Knights, ending their dominance and allowing Poland-Lithuania to become a major European state for the next 200 years. Then, we hit 1918, during the Second Battle of the Marne. Germany's final major Western Front offensive completely fails. The Allies seize the initiative, and it basically marks the beginning of Germany's defeat in World War I. Every single one of these July 15 battles triggered a permanent shift in military and political dominance. And this brilliantly illustrates the fascinating duality of the Cold War era. On July 15, 1971, US President Richard Nixon announces he's going to visit the People's Republic of China. This is a huge diplomatic move that ends decades of isolation, reshapes geopolitics, and directly weakens Soviet strategic influence. But, wait for it, fast forward exactly 4 years to July 15, 1975, and we have the Apollo-Soyuz test project. American and Soviet spacecraft literally docked together in orbit. It's the first joint space mission between the two superpowers, symbolizing détente and paving the way for future international cooperation, like the International Space Station. So diplomacy isolated the Soviets in 71, but space cooperation unified them in 75. But hey, before we leave this whole chapter on power, it's absolutely crucial to note that July 15 also marks some really beautiful milestones for human rights and peace. In 1834, the centuries-old Spanish Inquisition, an institution infamous for religious persecution, was officially abolished. And then in 1955, 18 Nobel laureates signed the Manaus Declaration. To put that into perspective, that's a room full of literally some of the smartest people on the planet issuing a stark warning against nuclear warfare. It really reflected a rapidly growing global conscience against total annihilation. Chapter 2. Unlocking the Unknown. So, how do we decode the unknown? Whether the unknown is buried deep in the sands of our ancient past or floating millions of miles away in the dark vacuum of space, humanity just has this incredible drive to figure it out. And perfectly enough, July 15 hosts 2 of the most massive scientific breakthroughs in history that answer this exact question. The first one happened way back in 1799. French soldiers, during Napoleon's Egyptian campaign, discovered the Rosetta Stone. Now, why did a rock change history? Because this single piece of stone contained the exact same text written in 3 ways: Greek, Demotic, and Egyptian hieroglyphics.
Because scholars already knew Greek, this stone was the literal key. Actually, scratch that. It was a total game changer that allowed scholar Jean-Francois Champollion to finally decipher Egyptian hieroglyphs. This single discovery opened the door to modern Egyptology and revolutionized our entire understanding of one of humanity's oldest civilizations. And then, leaping from the ancient sand straight to the stars, we've got July 15th, 1965. NASA's Mariner 4 spacecraft transmits humanity's very first close-up photographs of another planet, Mars. I mean, think about that. Decoding the unknown suddenly went extraterrestrial. This transmission completely changed our scientific understanding of the Red Planet. It was this massive milestone in robotic exploration that directly inspired the incredible future missions we know today, like Viking, Pathfinder, Curiosity, and Perseverance.
Let's move to Chapter 3 and see how this builds. Shrinking the modern world.
All right, the year is 1903. Just weeks after its incorporation, the Ford Motor Company received its very first customer order. This single sale on July 15th sparked a massive chain reaction. It led to Henry Ford's assembly line innovations, which transformed manufacturing and led to mass automobile production. And what did that do? It completely accelerated urbanization, road construction, and global economic development. Transportation was changed forever. The world was starting to get a lot smaller. Next up, fast forward just a bit to 1916. On July 15th, William Boeing established Pacific Aero Products, which of course would later be renamed Boeing. This company grew to become one of the world's largest aerospace companies by playing a major role in commercial aviation and producing military aircraft. Boeing fundamentally helped shape the entire modern aerospace industry. First cars, then planes. The physical distances between us were shrinking incredibly fast. And, as physical travel got faster, the spread of information kind of skyrocketed, right? In 1996, MSNBC launched, vastly expanding 24-hour television news and digital journalism. Information was now flowing nonstop. This highly connected 24-hour media environment primed the world for global cultural shockwaves. Exactly 1 year later, on July 15, 1997, fashion icon Gianni Versace was tragically murdered by serial killer Andrew Cunanan. It brought instant worldwide attention and shocked the global fashion industry, demonstrating just how fast news and culture now traveled across the globe. Which brings us to the absolute ultimate accelerator of human connection. On July 15, 2006, Twitter launched to the public. This platform absolutely revolutionized real-time communication. As we've all seen, it deeply influenced how news spreads worldwide. It changed the face of journalism and political campaigning, and it played major, highly visible roles in global activism, the Arab Spring, elections, disaster response, the whole shebang. The world wasn't just small anymore, it was instantaneous. Chapter 4, the top 3 turning points. So, the crucial point is, out of everything we've looked at today, 3 moments echo the loudest through time. Step 1, 1199, the capture of Jerusalem. Step 2, 1799, the discovery of the Rosetta Stone. And Step 3, 1971, Nixon's announcement of his visit to China. So why did these 3 take the absolute crown? Because they fundamentally altered the deepest pillars of human civilization. 1099 violently reshaped religious and geopolitical history in ways we honestly still feel the impacts of today. 1799 unlocked an entire lost language in the history of ancient Egypt, forever changing the limits of human knowledge. And 1971 utterly transformed Cold War diplomacy, laying the foundation for the US-China relationship and China's massive integration into the modern global economy. Religion, knowledge, and the global economy all pivoting on a single calendar date. It really makes you look at your calendar a bit differently, doesn't it? We've seen how empires rise, how ancient codes are broken, and how humanity connects, all linked to this one extraordinary day. So I want to leave you with this final thought. What history will we make next July 15th? Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer. Keep asking questions, keep looking at the details, and stay curious about the world around you.